I'm not gonna read the intro.
What is that? What does that word say?
Atlas.
Okay.
Anyway, here's the intro to the game.
According to an ancient legend, there was once a rebellion by the Winged Ones, but they suffered defeat and fell from grace. Their white wings torn from their bodies, they were cast into the bottom of the darkest abyss. Hi, Pepper. How are you doing?
Look at all these angels. They're showing us the thing that they just told us happened. Truly, video games are a master of storytelling.
It's a picture.
Thus, we shall never return to the glory of old. Except we are, because this is a remake of the other game. So it really, I don't know, was that self-aware? I think that was self-aware.
Why is it called the Old Testament?
Because these are the old games from before Shin Megami Tensei. Happy Shin Megami Tensei 5 Day to whoever's watching. Hi, Pepper. I know you're watching.
We also have a hello from Nicole8174, who I think is my friend Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
And Girlfiend and Chain Zero all want to say hello.
Hey, Dana. And who's the other one?
Chain Zero.
Chain Zero. Hey.
Anyway, what's happening right now?
Loki and Set attacked your character. Your player got a demon. He wrote a demon summoning program like you do, and he summoned demons. But the demons were too much for him, and they kicked his ass, and they made him look like a chump in front of a girl. And then the girl and the chump teamed together, and they kicked the demons' asses.
Hello, Maveriton. Welcome to the chat.
But the demons have not surrendered despite having their asses kicked. In fact, there's a lot of naked Donkey Kong Country backgrounds.
Why'd you have to call that?
That's what they look like, you know. I let inspiration strike where it may.
I'm just thinking about like Grant Kirkhope porn or something.
I don't want to think about Grant Kirkhope.
That was wise.
Degree of undress.
That was David Wise.
We'd be wise to change the topic of conversation
to what's happening on screen right now. To save Izanami, defeat the resurrected Loki, and said, "Oh fuck, lost it."
This one's pretty simple compared to the other Megami Tenseis because it's pretty much a direct adaptation of the first light novel, Digital Devil Monogatari, which is the source text of all the Shin Megami Tensei games. Megami Tensei basically follows these two kids, Nakajima and I forget her name. So that's fun. I forget her name, but the two...
Yukito? No?
Nakajima and Yumiko.
Close.
And you gotta get to the end and beat up Loki and Set and Lucifer. So,
I have a comment from chat.
Hi, chat.
Girlfriend says, the reason I had Donkey Kong porn on my browser tabs is because my gay son told my wife that it exists and she didn't believe it.
All right, Kurt.
And the Dark on 3, or the Dark 1.
The Dark one.
Says, there were light novels, question mark?
There were light novels. There were 3. The idea of a demon summoning program. I'm going to distribute stats while I'm talking.
I also want to know what the stats mean.
So, okay, I'll answer the question about light novels in a second. So, vitality, intellect, strength, speed, luck. Now, what these things do vary from game to game, and I'm not exactly sure their distribution here. Oftentimes, luck and intellect have to do with, or at least luck, I know. I feel like some of the later games have a different stat in place of intellect, but luck influences your negotiation, your demon negotiation rolls. Speed, self-explanatory, turn order. Strength is pretty self-explanatory. Vitality is health. Intellect, I think, is magic. And I think that these all have like secondary stat attributions as far as like weaknesses and strengths and like resistances to different kinds of magic. I think they have it varies from game to game to game, so I'm not exactly sure here. But
Light novels.
light novels. So there were 3 light novels written by a person whose name I forget because I'm bad. And they basically are kind of light erotic novels about a kid who writes a devil summoning program because he has self-esteem issues, and it seems like a good way to get back at everybody. And then the demons get out of hand and they fuck a lot of people, and then like a goddess is born, and that's where the title Reincarnation of the Goddess comes from.
So it's
Megami
Lane.
Tensei. What?
It's Lane.
Yeah, it's basically Lane.
Yeah. See, chat said too. Thank you, Dana.
Well, the other way around. Lane is
Sexual experiments, Lane.
Sexual experiments Lane. It's good. So here in Megami Tensei, we're inside this tower that they went into, and what I like about this game is you have your vertical or your top-down like square-based map, your grid, but then you can also go here, and you can see this kind of from the side map. And what's interesting is that if you look at where my character's sprite is on that map, and if I go back, see it moves. So you can actually chart out your exact, like you can triangulate your XY location, and based off of these 2 maps, you can kind of cross-coordinate it. And when you're in those lower levels where you're sort of trying to figure out like connections between, you know, a wider layer versus a thinner layer, that's actually really helpful. So this game actually gives you a lot of tools for kind of working your way through it. And this is actually the entirety of the game. Bien here, I assume it's pronounced Bien, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a flying city, and you can actually move it. It lands where it is there. It lands above Mazurka, and it lands, I think, above Infini. I've never gotten to the end of this game because these games are long.
What does full moon mean?
So I'm gonna shut up and just start doing
the moon. What does the moon mean?
the kind of basic things. It gives you a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and get
What does the moon mean?
the moon indicates. So the moon is kind of a shifting thing in all of life. It waxes and wanes, but in Shin Megami Tensei, it often indicates different kind of demon attributes. What kind of demons spawn? How demons respond to conversation. This is another thing that really shifts from game to game, and I again am not exactly sure how it works here. I know in Soul Hackers, which is the first Megaton I played on the 3DS, that game, sometimes the demons you summon, if the moon is wrong, they just will disobey you like assholes, which is really fun. So this guy's a fan of Drake. Don't have any.
I'm just gonna leave that one.
Yeah, wasn't very funny. Okay.
I do agree with Chain Zero that it's very cheery music.
Yeah, it's really it's calm. I hear demons become tame on Dark Nights. I'm not sure why you're wearing that, but okay. So yeah, that's the game kind of poking. These games often just kind of point you.
The mic fell. And then back up it goes.
Sorry about that. Sorry
Okay, there
about
we
that.
go. Yeah.
So yeah, these games often just kind of point you towards an idea or a concept that actually has like mechanical grounding, and then just kind of assume that you're going to figure out what that means. So like, I assume the demons that become tame on Dark Nights, I assume what that means is when the moon is waning.
So you're at the top of. Are you at the top of this building right now?
I'm at the top of this, yeah.
Okay.
If you're heading down, you need equipment.
What's the little man mean?
Little man?
Below the mag.
So that's not a man, that's money.
Oh. I'm not very smart.
That's fine. So here's a place to heal.
I like that when you knock into the wall, it bounces you back a little bit.
Mhm. So Mycon Village on the 8th floor of the Tower of Daedalus. Now, I don't think... I can afford any... Oh, hey, cool. There's a Catman. Okay. Great. So now, if I look at the map, there's only one more place to go here. Well, two, but we'll do this one first.
Where are we going?
Going to the Cathedral of Shadows, and anybody who's played Persona, I am just now realizing that there are two penises behind him.
Yeah, those are just big dicks.
Those are just giant dicks.
As well as the Star of David.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's, you know. Alright, so that's where you go when you have demons, to fuse them and all that. I'm assuming most people who are watching this have played Persona, but considering the announcement, maybe there's some people who are interested for the first time. I don't know. So now you'll see the map has Cathedral, Elevator, and Healer marked, but it doesn't mark save, weapons, or armor, which is frustrating and designed, I think, to piss me off. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in here. And this Viking tells me that the Demon's Den is past this point. He won't stop me, but be careful. Okay. Well. Okay.
So now it's like a dungeon?
Now we are crawling dungeons.
Like, is the whole game just like a big dungeon?
Yes.
For like 80 hours?
Yep. Something's written on the wall. Demons are terrifying in the moonlight. Well, at least the moon is low, I guess. I'm gonna go... It's Fish Boy.
I need to know if any of these characters or demons are in the other ones.
Yes, all of them are.
Seriously?
Yes.
Okay.
There's pretty much 100% parity between all of them. Do I think I'm privileged to speak to the fish man?
You should be humble.
Yeah, I think humility is the way to go. Okay. Cool.
Done.
Good talk, pal. Alright, that's like a totally useful strat, though, when you have really high-level demons. You don't fuck with them.
Humility.
Yeah. Oh, it's Snake Boy. I think these will not talk to me.
Dana's trying to get a rise out of you.
What's Dana saying?
Is this Undertale?
I hate that. No, it's not Undertale. God damn it. This is a real RP. This is a real shouldn't. This is go play.
What?
I don't have a joke. No, this isn't Undertale.
You're like doing the equivalent when like a Pokemon has no moves.
Yeah, I'm like Magikarp. Jokes Magikarp.
Like jokes are powerful.
Cool. Dead. Okay. Level up Yumiko.
Do we get to see these people?
Nope. Yumiko learned a new spell, so let's find out what she learned. Yes, she learned healing magic. Great. Pulsamudi does away with. It does. I know paralysis. I want to say. It deals with status ailments. Dia is a healing spell, and Remappa. Was that it? Mapara is a auto mapper related spell.
Question from chat.
Hi chat.
Maveriton asks, so is this an official release or is there a fan translation?
This is a fan translation. None of the none of the pre-Nocturne Megatens have been released in the West, barring Soul Hackers on 3DS, and I guess the Persona games that were actually released here when they came out. This guy needs a drink. So this is a fan translation by Aeon Genesis. I don't have any drinks, so I'm gonna not. I found a jewel. That's a healing item. So
I like how benign they are.
yeah, they're just kind of dudes. Now I can go down a level.
I like the thought of like if you were on the street and like an RPG attack dialogue appeared when it was like, well, you're just hanging out, you're just seeing somebody. Like, like it gives you the expectation of like, oh, we gotta do combat now, but like everyone here is just sort of like a dude.
Yeah, they always feel kind of casual, just like they're just kind of going about their business. It's one of the things I like about these games is that people play up kind of the. I think people like to play up the like the tactics and negotiation of Megaten a lot, but I really do like just how like sometimes really casual it can be. Like, yeah, demons throughout all the games are just kind of like people, and you just kind of get to know them, and they're consistent between games. Like their characterization, Pixie is almost always kind of the same kind of character. Same with like Huapo, who you see show up a lot in these early moments. We'll probably find her soon, actually.
Two questions from chat now.
2 questions from chat.
Sorry. The first one's not a question, it's just Natalie says hi.
Hi, Nat.
And 2 is from Personal Corpse. Did this game predate Pokemon with the enemy monster recruitment?
Good question. Megami Tensei came out, I want to say 1987? This is a 1995 remake of Megami Tensei, the first game of the Megaten franchise. Shin Megami Tensei came out in 1992, on the day before Halloween, 1992, which is cute. But yes, they both do predate Pokemon. And I think there are some other monster negotiation games and like monster collecting games that predate Pokemon. I know Pokemon's definitely the first one to really make that into a really kind of fluid loop. These games often make it really kind of difficult to recruit monsters, but I'm not exactly sure the genealogy there. So.
I kind of wish that like Megami Tensei like took the place of Pokemon for like kids in like the 90s, where it's like there's like this like Burger King toy of the penis
screaming
demon.
dick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to persuade this demon, I guess, to join. Didn't seem too into that. That didn't work. Scaredy cat. All right. But yeah, I wish these games had a chance here. Part of it is just the way Nintendo and their censorship, you know, in the 90s especially, these games deal a lot with like, I mean, inherently deal with like all religious iconographies, and Nintendo was very anti any religious imagery, but especially Christian. And these games all often touch on that. Sorry.
Question from chat again.
Hi, chat.
That asks, do you have to just memorize the right sort of thing to do to recruit a given demon?
I mean, you don't have to, like, it's not really memorization, because there's so many different, like, each demon has, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 different paths of negotiation. So really, it's just getting an idea of kind of their personality. Like, I remember the femme fairies, because they're the ones you see early on in every game. But they're all, like, gender biases and stuff be damned. They're all kind of vain women archetypes, right? So you want to, like, flatter them, and you want to make them feel like respected and loved. So, like, giving them items or persuading them with soothing tactics are things that they usually respond to. And you just kind of get a sense of, like, how these demons, like, how their personalities kind of exist mechanically, if that makes sense. The thing that I think is enriching about these games as a franchise is that there is such a, despite them all having, like, basically different realities, like, in every game the world ends, right? Like, so that can't happen every fucking game. Like, that can't be a consistent chronology, right? Like, that just has to be they have to be isolated incidents, right? They're not implying some kind of shared connected universe. So then the shared connected universe becomes these actual mythological figures and how they are depicted in the game, if that makes sense. And I really like that. I like using our real life mythologies as kind of the shared continuity that lives between them. Some of the games do have, before anybody corrects me, some of the games do have continuity, especially SMT 1 and 2. But yeah.
I feel like chat is largely newcomers to this game and series, for that matter.
I feel like there's a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, Persona, I think, gets a lot of talk, especially lately with P5. But it's a very different kind of game than Shin Megami Tensei in general. So it also doesn't help that there's not very many, unless you have a PlayStation 3, or like we're doing, you know, if you're okay with emulating translated games. There's not many ways to play these. There's a lot of them on 3DS. 3DS is kind of a haven for them now.
Personal Corpse asks, how do you feel about the Megaten anime entries and adaptations?
I've only seen the first OVA, and I like it. It's sort of just kind of low-budget erotica, but that's cute sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind it. I haven't seen any of the, like, Persona the animations, or I know in the 90s they did one, I think, called Tokyo Millennium, which I assume is based on 2, since that's that thing in 2. I know there's a couple more,
Yeah.
but I honestly haven't watched very many of them.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about Megami Tensei, and that's why I'm here. But, yeah. We should watch them then.
We should watch them. They're fun. At least the OVA is. The first, like, 2/3 of it. The last third is kind of a mess, but the first 2/3, like, a bunch of demons take over a school, and then a girl gets, like, cyber fucked by Loki. It's fun. It's a little iffy, but it's not safe for work. But it's a weird thing. I would really like to negotiate a demon to join me, so I'm going to try to do that. I don't think that worked. Yeah. Well, I will...
Lena says hi.
Hi, Lena. So I really like this about this area. I went down, you can see in the area there that I went down before, but now I've come up from the prior level, and I'm kind of in the outside ring there. So I'm gonna kind of poke around here for a minute. Minotaur is on the first floor of this tower. He's directly below this room.
There was a comment that our mics seem a little low, and because they're at 0, I just brought the game audio down another decibel.
Great. Yeah, and I'll speak up a little bit.
Me,
So-
I'm just naturally quiet, so sorry.
Yeah. Let's go down here. Ugh.
Oh right, there's a question about whether or not this game predates Phantasy Star 1, but yeah.
It's pretty close. It might be Phantasy Star 1. I'm not exactly sure. That's a really good question. It's really super, like, it's months, I would assume.
Do you get more party members or just demons?
What?
Do you get more party members or is it just demons?
Yeah, you just get demons. You just have these two. I really like Foul Pink Worm. It's a really good demon. These, like, really fodder demons, these, like, low tier fodder demons you can't negotiate with, I don't think. Yeah. Just kind of pisses them off when you try. So, they don't actually really show up in other games, but I really like how kind of, like, they're just really abstract. It's just like, it's a worm with balls on it for some reason.
Apparently there are lots of good Twitter display names in this game's bestiary.
I believe that. Foul Pink Worm is definitely really high up there.
Does it get get more complicated in regards to how many you're fighting at once, or?
Yeah, so I'll give a little explainer next time in combat. So what gets interesting is when you have more than one demon in a fight, you have the icon up there that tells you how many demons you're fighting. Right now I'm just talking to this one. God damn it. Okay, so I can't give him things. He just takes them. Because he's an asshole.
Isn't that what? You gave him a gift.
And he took it. And then I gave him another gift, and he took it.
I would do the same.
Well, I want you to be my pal. I don't want you to take my shit.
Hey, cool, $5. Okay, see ya.
Alright, bye. Apparently we all just have terrible aim.
It's like a really bad dance. Wait, so there's 4 up there.
Yeah, so I'm fighting 4 Foul Pink Worms right now. One of those Foul Pink Worms is critically injured. I'm probably going to kill that one. Nope, now 2 are critically injured. So that's why you're seeing it attack and attack and attack and attack. It's just using one sprite, but it's telling me up there how many are in combat. And those little monsters, those actually change regarding, like, with respect to, like, status, like buffs and debuffs. They will actually respond to those. See, I've just killed one. And I'm gonna do a thing that I'm really glad these games have, and just auto fight.
Everyone fought really well. I like that's fast.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, fuck.
God.
Okay, this is a hard demon.
All of chat loves the spooky tree.
They love it?
They love it.
I mean, I like his dance.
Because of the
Spooky
dance. Because of the dance.
Oh my god, please die. Come on.
What happens if,
Yes!
What happens if you die?
If I die, the game goes back to the title screen and I can load for my last save.
Like if anyone dies though.
If Yuriko dies, then I can continue playing. If any demons die, they go back to my comp. If Nakajima dies, regardless of anybody else, if I remember correctly, if Nakajima dies, it does not matter. The game just ends. Which is rough. And now the game's doing that tempting thing that dungeon crawlers do, where I was about to go back to heal, but because I've leveled up, I'm just gonna keep going. Which is how they get you, kids. So watch out. Don't ever let a dungeon crawler give you a level, because you get one and then you're hooked. This has been your public service announcement about dungeon crawlers.
So is it all just this?
Yep, this whole game.
For like 80 hours?
Yup. And I love it.
Like, I mean, like the backgrounds don't change, the music doesn't change, like...
Backgrounds change, the environments change. As you go through each different Daedalus, like when you get to Bien, it's different. When you get to Valhalla, it's different. Like,
Okay.
those change. I'm just in the first dungeon, so. And as you can see, the game scales pretty quickly. Like, I'm already probably just going to auto fight every demon that's not conversation.
Dana asks how long we're planning on playing, and that's a good question.
That is a good question. I mean, I could do this forever.
I could do this forever.
I don't think...
I could make coffee if you want.
Okay.
If you want, if you want some late night company with some demon friends,
Yes!
I can't finish.
I got a
my
pal.
sentence. Oh, good.
No one became an ally.
Didn't even need a drink.
So now, you can see that mag that I have 136 of.
Okay.
Every step I take uses up some portion of that. I think, yeah,
Just to have them with you.
yes. Now, that goes up exponentially, so when you have like 6 people in your party, you're losing like 15 mag per step. So it gets to be a really pricey thing, and it varies by, different demons have different mag costs.
then you have to keep attacking them. You can't just keep running away.
Right, you have to keep fighting demons because you see I get 32 mag for just that.
Feed that mag.
Mm-hmm. So the reason I really like this game is that it gives you to use the elevator, find the orb of silence. That's a tweet right there.
I like this notion that like to hang out with my friends, I need to like spend something that I need to like addictively accumulate by violence, just to be like, hey, I want to spend some time with Christa today, so I have to go out there and beat up some people and get $5.
Mm-hmm. Or you just open that chest. I like that. Well, because I guess it's like the computer that's summoning them uses it.
I believe mag is short for magic.
I think it's magnetite.
Magnetite?
Magnetite. Yeah.
Well, I was okay. Don't listen to me.
Sorry, I know the lore. I know the Megaton lore. Yeah. Okay. Now. Oh God, there's one left. And that's the down. Okay, great. We're done here. Okay. He didn't like that.
You should have been humble.
I think they all want you to be humble.
I want to be humble. Oh, you just talk again.
Hey.
We
Okay,
had
bye.
fun here. But
Hey, you hit me. Okay, bye. That's it. It's just the whole conversation. Okay.
Ariel says, nice walls you got there.
Hi, Ariel. When are you coming home?
Ariel, come home and bring food.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Also, tell me if this sounds good, Ariel, but nobody else.
Hi, Ariel. What's your opinion of how this sounds?
I think it sounds alright. I'm pretty happy with it. Also, Veritan says, since you're carrying a computer with you, what kind do you think it is? Like a laptop or UMPC or maybe Palm Pilot kind of thing?
I think it's like one of those Yu-Gi-Oh card deck things, but but without the cards. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is, actually.
Oh my god, I want to summon the Dark Magician and walk around and hang out.
Yeah, I mean, that's what these games are, basically. I'm gonna soothe Fishman by putting away my weapons. He doesn't like when I smile. I'm gonna... That one doesn't work. It doesn't seem like...
It's like, what if I was like, I summoned my Dark Magician friend and we hang out, but he's like, if you want to keep hanging out with me, you have to take a day off your life. I'd be like, that's a tough bargain, but fine.
I mean, you got a Dark Magician, though.
Like, I want it to be like having a friend is like smoking.
Uh-huh.
I want to be like, to hang out with this person, it costs my life.
Sure. Well, it's like demon energy, so you're harvesting Spirit Ghost. Wow, that's a really good name, guys. You're harvesting life force from other entities, presumably. So Fishman also has heal and status recovery. So that's good to know. And Gnome has lightning. Zon is lightning, by the way. Much like every other JRPG, Megaton has its own naming conventions for elemental magics. So just like how, Final Fantasy has Kira, Megaton has Dia, and then Medea, and etc. Zan, Z-A-N, is lightning. Bufu, my favorite, is ice, which, sets you up for the amazing pun, Bufu D's nuts.
I like that you're saying it like it's like you're in a Ken Burns documentary or something.
Yeah. I've observed through language that if you...
Real peaceful.
Yeah. Bufu D's nuts.
There's an ongoing theory in the chat by Sparkletone that some of these monsters can hear the music in their dancing hood.
I think these zombies definitely lend credence to that. Credence. Clearwater revival.
Yeah.
I don't like this one. I'm tired of this fight. I like him. Okay, cool. Now, I believe... Yes! So Pozamudi does heal poison. So now we know that.
My attention span's a little shot, and I completely forgot why you're in this house, or what you did.
I unleashed all these demons, and I gotta kill Loki.
You did all of this?
And Set. It's
and
all
the
my
house.
fault. Loki and Set and Lucifer. I have to kill all of them. So, you know, I totally whiffed it.
You just fucked up.
Yeah, really goofed it on that.
You really gonked that one.
Better luck next time, you know? Maybe next time I won't, you know, unleash a fucking demon.
Yeah.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, what can I say? Darkness favors humans, while moonlight favors demons.
What?
Yeah.
Is that like a mechanic?
The game
or
is
something?
continuing to tell me that when the moon is out, demons are stronger. And I appreciate that.
Do people say screwed the pooch in the West Coast?
I tend to say fuck the pup.
Fuck the dog, maybe?
Fuck the pup.
That's what you called masturbation.
That's not what you call masturbation. Anyway, something was hiding here. Oh no! So scary. I got nothing for it.
That really derailed Rover? No, thank you. Not really a fan of like alliterative missiles.
Great, so I'm already 4 levels down, so really I'm halfway there. I probably want stronger demons before I really start moving towards the Minotaur. I also... Let's see. So a cool thing is if you have a demon in your register already, and then you fight that demon again and you talk to him, he'll be like, cool, you got our pal. Bye. It's
Over and over.
really nice. You know, sometimes
But you have one in your party.
Yeah, but I want the XP.
What is your next thing?
My friend doesn't matter, or he doesn't care. Now, this level is much wider than the previous 4, so I need to be careful in exploring it. Oh God. Really?
Wait, just keep going?
Oof.
Oh.
I want to go back up there though. Oh no.
One more question.
Hi, question.
The world structure seems pretty set. Are the individual dungeon floors the same layout every time?
Yes, there's no random generation here. To my knowledge, the only Megaten games that really do... I haven't played P3. I know Persona 4's dungeons are randomly generated, and Persona 5 has the Mementos dungeons that are basically just kind of P4 again. Those are randomly generated, but I don't believe... maybe P3 does. It might... I don't think Persona 1 and 2 do either. Also, I lost a demon, which is sad. But it happens. I'm gonna start moving towards the surface now because I have enough money that I can start buying new items because I want to have better stuff going into the boss. But I did want to finish mapping this floor.
Do you ever think about how this game and Doom are like the same thing but with different like methodologies to how you're going through them?
Yeah, I mean, for example, in this one you talk to the monsters.
You just talk to them.
In Doom,
You just sort
you
of
don't talk to the monsters.
You
That's
just shoot them.
What if you could talk to the monsters in Doom?
Hey, it's just a theory.
A game theory.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, oh good, my fishman died.
Okay, yeah. Doom had diagonals. Okay. This has compass directions. Isn't that better?
Then Doom?
Yeah. Ariel wants me to acknowledge that we made a game that is just that. I think it was Diablo. We were doing a game jam and we remade Diablo in a point-and-click adventure engine, where you just talk to them and become friends. You know, now I think about it, it's kind of like, yeah, I probably should have just played these games like 20 years ago.
The Megaten games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was making, we just kept coming back to these topics like, let's just talk to the demons, let's just hang out, be cool buds in my dungeon. Apparently, according to Sparkletown, in one of the Doom novels, the protagonist tries to talk to an imp, but it doesn't really work out.
That sounds about right.
Is that the rip and tear one, or?
I don't think that's rip and tear.
What is SMT Imagine?
Shin Megami Tensei Imagine is a MMORPG that some Korean company, I think, tried to push out there around. So after Nocturne came out, there were a lot of these games that came out on the PlayStation. And a lot of them use basically Nocturne's assets, and I'm pretty sure that MMO is just kind of a free-to-play MMO with Nocturne assets. I haven't actually played it. By the time I was invested in Megaten, it had already been shut down here in the West. Last year it was shut down in Japan as well, so it's just dead now.
Oh, there's a question for me. So
What?
when did you first get into Megaten then?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh. So I was, man, it was like 3 years ago. Must have been like 2014. I had a 3DS, and I was really like JRPGs, but I fucking hate Final Fantasy. Sorry, anybody who likes Final Fantasy here, I'm. You have patience, I don't. I hate Final Fantasy. I like Dragon Quest, but you know, part of liking Dragon Quest is accepting that they're all identical. And I was really interested for like, you know, what's the other JRPGs that people really gravitate towards. And you know, the third one always mentioned is Shin Megami Tensei. So I started with Persona 4. No, that's not true. No, I was interested in Persona 4, but I only had a PS or a 3DS. So I picked up Soul Hackers because that one looked cyberpunk, and it was a remake of a Sega Saturn game. And I really like the Sega Saturn, I think as anybody who follows me on Twitter knows. So I was like, okay, I'll go get this. And I got this really, really fucking hard, really kind of gently queer, messy 90s anime cyberpunk kind of dystopia hell. And it was kind of a disaster of a port and a really weird game. And I was sort of in love pretty much the moment in Soul Hackers where you go into a VR theme park and then just kind of get lost in a VR museum inside one of the paintings and then get stuck into it in like a faux Alice in Wonderland scenario, while being guided by a spiritual lion. That was pretty much the moment where I realized that these games were doing something kind of remarkably strange, that I sort of wanted to follow. I tried out a couple more. I tried out SMT4, and I sort of hated it because SMT4 isn't very good.
Why?
It doesn't understand pacing, and SMT kind of lives and dies based on the strength of its kind of ideological thrust. And the ideological thrust of SMT4 is that if we educate the populace and give them literature to read, they will consume us and lead us to ruin. That's sort of the initial thrust of it, at least. It nuance. There's some nuance that comes in later, but that is sort of how it comes across in the opening moments. And I was really kind of turned off by that. So I stopped with SMT4 and sold my 3DS for a Vita, where I played Persona 4, which I didn't really like very much. And then I got a PS3 and started fucking around with the really hard ones, and then got into these, like, you know, older ones, which I think honestly are much more compelling for me. Just because I find it interesting that the weapons are gendered. But I find the simplicity of these games really comforting. Like, this game is a very rigid thing, and I find that like compelling to just keep coming back to. Like, I can just kind of walk through this game.
I'm really intrigued with the PS2 ones.
Yeah, Nocturne is...
Nocturne, Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2. I told you this earlier, but the first evidence of Megaten I ever saw was on G4 Tech TV up here in Canada. They would play these like bits from games during commercial breaks, and so they played like the ending of Digital Devil Saga. I don't remember if it was the first or second, but it was just very, very dark. I think it was like 2 a.m. when I was watching it. And I was like, are these kids like killing God? That's pretty cool. I want to be those kids.
It's pretty cool to kill God. Hi, I'm Shin Megami Tensei. Killing God, it's pretty cool. That's my impression of this game corrupting the youth. I am so short. I could buy a helmet if I had 6 more Maka, but I don't. So I'll have to leave. But because I have 2 demons and a thirst for, let's see, level 11. So its level is too high. I can't fuse that demon yet because every demon you fuse has to be within your level range. So that demon was level 11. I am presently level 6. So I can't fuse any demons. So pretty much I'm stuck just continuing on like I'm doing.
We're getting a little bit of noise from one of the mics, but I don't know which. I'm trying to track it down right now.
I'm going to run to the restroom real quick before I go back into the dungeon. I will be right back.
Take 2. Or 3, I don't know. In the meantime, I'm going to try and find out where that noise is coming from. I think there's just some minor feedback between the 2 mics. I think that's all that it is. Okay, give it a shot.
I've returned. I'm going to take care as I go down the stairs.
I have to bring your mic back up. I think what's happening is that the mics are giving each other a little bit of feedback. They shouldn't be this distance. The more I point them at each other, the worse it gets.
Great. So now I'm back to this deeper level, but I'm now in the area that I skipped before. If you'll remember, I got to this layer and then I went down another layer. I really want him. So now I'm exploring this layer because I'd rather... These games do a really good job of making sure you're progressing like steadily along with what they want. But you have to sort of just, every time you reach an area, you have to, agree to like do everything in that area. You can't try to skip ahead, really. Which is fine by me, because that's how I play RPGs anyway, but... What a dick. I paid him, and he just took my money and left like an asshole. Don't trust demons with your money. Oh, I hate these guys. Also, there's 6 of them, and that's not good. So this is really unpleasant. I'm gonna try to...
For those of you. Mic and my phones are not playing nice. And when I point the mic to my... Well...
This palace is divided into 6 areas. Each area is ruled by a tyrant. Now they're on the same side, they don't get along. They're all scheming to take Lucifer's place. The politics of demons are complex. Bye. Okay, come back, I guess. Well, damn. Cool. So I don't have enough money to summon that demon, so I'll have to wait.
How much of this game is just getting fin-domed by mythical creatures?
Is that a question from chat or from
That's a
you?
question from Sparkletone in chat.
Sparkletone, 100%. It's 100% of the game. Oh, great. Well, that might be...
Christy, can you just say one thing?
One thing.
Okay, then I think we're good.
Oh my god. Look at all that EXP. And it was not enough to raise my level. Oh god. Great.
Thank you for standing with us while I sorted out that audio issue. Back to business.
Cool, we're back.
I just took a crash course on noise gating the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
music is really good. So I'm wondering about the moon.
So the demons are stronger now because the moon is full.
Yeah, I mean, like, but the moon just kind of just keeps going. Like,
Yeah.
So is it always nighttime?
Yeah.
Permanently nighttime.
Yeah.
Oh.
Demons. I don't know why. I just saw a goblin hanging around to the south. He loves mischief, so be careful not to get robbed.
You know, robbing. My favorite mischief.
Rob and goblin.
Maveriton asks what happened to the demons in your party that were slain.
They're in my computer, and I will... be able to get them out once once I go heal. I can heal. I can revive them. I just fuck. All right.
Yeah, I know. When it's like the same battles over and over again. So it's like, what is the commentary on tree fight number 5?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's really engaging for me because, you know, moment to moment I'm trying to decide. I'm juggling, you know, magic, and all my demons are dead, so like right now I'm sort of kind of limping back to the start. Perhaps not as urgently as I should have. But, you know, whether or not that makes great television. Oh my god.
Are there speedruns of this?
Probably.
I'm gonna look that up.
I believe there are like nocturne speedruns. I don't know.
I mean of this.
Kyūyaku? I don't know. Nope, wrong way.
Thank you, Sparkletone. Apparently, the speedrun is 2 hours, 26 minutes.
It's terrifying.
That is actually very scary.
How the fuck are you doing that?
Everyone in the chat is debating whether or not the moon's real.
I mean,
which I'm very confused about, to be honest.
Look, this isn't Bloodborne.
Is that a Bloodborne thing? Explain this. Also, explain that right there.
Ooh. I wanted to talk to that demon to try to negotiate with him. He said he also wanted to talk to him, so I moved forward, and then he inflicted panic on me. And then I cast Patra to get rid of panic. The moon reference was the fact that Bloodborne is about wanting to fuck the moon. That's all. There wasn't much to it. It wasn't a very good joke. I hate these. I don't want to fight them. Fucking fine, fairy. No. Yep, that's it.
You died? Did you save?
Wow.
Canoe. I think this is worth it, actually. This is what we're doing.
This game is my favorite game over screen, by the way.
Back the canoe up. Let's go.
Point.
Oh. So,
I'm fine. I just lost most of my money.
that's it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I mean, it super sucks, but what are you gonna do?
I thought it'd be like, you know, the last, you know, hour is just sort of just gone.
No. Shin Megami Tensei, that would be the case, but
The dark one, I believe this is a Super Famicom version.
yes, this is the Super Kyūyaku Megami Tensei is the Super Famicom port of Megami Tensei 1 and 2, which are Famicom games.
Xandra wants to know if there's more to it than just this dungeon, which I think means let's look at the map again.
So here's the vertical map, and then I'm there, obviously. Once I get to the bottom, I have a boss fight, and then I move on that floor until I'm in Valhalla, and then I can climb up to Bien. You do Bien, and then you do Valhalla, and then you move up into Mazurka, and then you can move Bien over to Mazurka, and then you can climb down into the Sea of Flames. Each one of these, if memory serves, they said there were 6 zones, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each one is a boss, so 6 bosses, 6 areas. But I mean, the game is this one long area, I guess. The areas all vary; they're not all the same environment.
But you need money to go to the next one?
I need money right now to summon a demon.
This game is Kyūyaku Megami Tensei.
Yeah,
I'm bad at
Kyūyaku Megami Tensei.
Yeah, okay, don't listen to me. It's the first and second Tensei games from the Famicom that have been ported or remade or
Remade.
for the Super Famicom. That's true, the stream info does not have the name of it. I should put that there. I'll do that right now.
I am like remarkably fucking hungry.
It's coming.
I know it is. I just wanted to let chat know. I'm really hungry. So now you know, chat.
Inside look.
Yeah, behind the scenes, I'm hungry. Well, I died, and that sucked. So let's not do that this time.
So is the fifth one gonna just be dungeons again, or?
These games aren't as simple as this anymore. They're pretty efficient about foregrounding side quests and I don't know. I'm actually not sure because 5 looks like it pulls a lot from Nocturne. But I would imagine just by virtue of being a modern game that it also probably pulls a lot from Persona 5. So it probably has some really weird stuff in terms of world traversal. But whatever it is, it's definitely not just walk through a bunch of dungeons. These games, as you go on, do have actual plots. I prefer them a little bit more minimal, but like SMT4 has a pretty lengthy plot that it sort of beats you over the head with.
Ta-da! Stream information updated. I'll have you know that we are the only stream of this game right now.
Wow.
I'm just surprised it was in the database.
I think I might have streamed like 10 minutes of it before. I'm sure somebody streamed it before. Let's see.
Question from Eon S. How is the skill thing here? Game-breaking ailments like the others in the series?
The skill thing?
The skill thing. I have no idea.
I'm not sure what you mean. Game-breaking ailments. You mean like status ailments? Sorry, yeah.
It may just be like, oh, no, this is harder than the other ones, maybe.
This game is really hard. But I don't think it's like noticeably harder than the rest. Like, I mean, they're notoriously hard games to begin with.
Oh, in some entries, there are spells/status effects like death, which literally just kill you.
Oh, yes,
Hey, dog.
there are some insta-death spells in this game. I think that their effects are less harsh than they are in like Nocturne. I don't think Hama's gonna straight up kill you, but it can happen. One of the most frustrating things in this game is that there are spells that take levels from you, and you can't get them back unless you like level up again. That's probably the most frustrating thing.
What's the relationship between this and Persona anyway? Like, in universe?
There's none. Not in
They're
universe.
just like inspired by them.
They have the same combat. I mean, it's the same game, right? Like, the idea is that all Shin Megami Tensei games have a similar set of magics and attack patterns and negotiation. And as you get later on, they have the press turn system, which people who've played SMT4 or Persona 4 or 5 probably know, which is if an enemy is weak to ice and then you use ice on them, then you get another turn. And then further, more recent games have really modified that. SMT4 Apocalypse does some really cool things with it, involving criticals. But that's sort of where the games are now, is that they're just kind of drilling further down into that kind of mechanic set. But yet, really, the consistency between Megaten games isn't so much like a continued world. It is the real world is, the real world is beset by an apocalypse that involves demons from all mythologies. That's sort of the plot of every single Megaten. There's no real deviation there. The only real main consistency besides just that simple plot structure is just that they have the same combat system and the same magics and the same negotiation and the same press turn battle nuances as you get further on.
Yeah, I was just worried that, like, in Persona, like, everyone's calling upon, like, the demon inside them that they're using.
Sure.
Maybe. I was worried that, like, they would still be, like, people like they are in this series, but they just never talked.
Oh, no, there's no. Right, like that those characters appeared or something?
Like, so instead, they're just sort of, like, cards instead? Like, they're like Pokemon?
No, so you meet like thousands of the same demon, and it doesn't ever really care to distinguish between them. But they definitely have personality that is shared between them. It's all sort of, abstract, which I really like, but
Higog, I think when they say stay back, they mean that they're like afraid of you.
yeah, I think so too. Celeste only knows Dia. That's helpful because they have 13.
I'm curious about the history of the dungeon crawler genre. Just, yeah, just all of it.
Yeah, me too. I'm not exactly sure the exact.
Like, I'm so unaware of like this notion of like first person walking through a dungeon.
Really? Well, I mean, I know I'm not an expert on them. I know that it comes out of computer games. The thing that is unique about Megami Tensei is that it is a console-based, basically a CRPG. It's not exactly a CRPG, but it is often classed with them. A CRPG, computer role-playing game, is just a certain set of mechanics and behaviors. To be honest, as a genre, I'm not terrifically familiar with. I know like things like Ultima exist within it, and I know Dark Souls also is pulling from that same well. But these kind of things operate outside my wheelhouse. I tend to focus more on console stuff, just because of laziness mostly. I'm gonna have to fight these guys, I guess, because I...
Actual question from Veritan: does CRPG really have any defining elements other than kind of unfair difficulty?
I think you're neglecting the all-important, erudite and inexplicable combat system. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's something. I'm sure somebody who's really into Ultima could give you a whole spiel about it. That is not me. So I don't know.
Oh my god, there's 6 of these.
6 of these enemies? Yeah, I don't like it. They won't let me run from them. Great, Gnome's dead. That's fine, I guess.
Do you find this game addictive?
Is this you asking?
I'm asking you.
Yes, I do.
Wait, sorry, other round. Yes, I'm asking. Like what makes it like what makes you want to keep going?
So I find the like kind of chess-esque structure of Megami Tensei's battles really compelling. More so as you get further on. Like Nocturne kind of is my holy grail. I really like this game because of its simplicity. I think Nocturne is kind of a perfect video game. But I find this game in particular interesting because it almost feels arcade. It almost feels like it exists in the same lineage as arcade games where, you know, I'm going for a dive and then I'm going to come back up and then I'll probably save and quit and then I'll go back for a dive. Like, it's got that same kind of in and out play engagement. That usually is what grabs me on a game. You know, this is what I like Dark Souls for. I tend to enjoy a game that I can just kind of play for, like, get really deep into maybe, but play for a while and then stop. And this game, more than others, because it has such minimal plotting and because it is so mechanic driven, I don't have to really keep tabs on where I am with it to enjoy it.
You just know where you're going and how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, my goal, regardless of if I start this game up 2 weeks from now, I will know that my goal is down bottom to the right. So it, you know, any other consideration is communicated by the map and how filled in it is. Like, I immediately know where I am, how much I've done, and, you know, what is next on my, you know, slate of tasks. So it's, you know, it's just a really convenient model for engaged but long-term play, I guess. As opposed to something like Final Fantasy, where you sort of feel this urge to, like, really sit with it for long periods of time while, you know, it doles out all of this backstory and lore and all this, and it, you know, there's nothing like that in any of these games. The most you get is I don't even think these games have one.
Yeah, I mean, like, you saw the trailer today, right? The teaser trailer?
I did see the SMT5 trailer, yes.
What was in it?
A look at how that game depicts Japanese cityscapes and a couple teens, and then some demons that I recognize, but probably not the average person recognizes, show up, and then they're dead, and then some demons eat the teens. And then the game.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, so I'm thinking about the Nintendo Direct, right? The last one that was happening for the Switch. And how that one JRPG, I forgot the name of it already.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
Yeah, it had
hours and hours and hours of
Dune. It had like 10 minutes of like listing off the factions and how they all feel about each other in big generalized terms, and this is all very important, and we need to put that in the main pitch for the game.
Sure. Right, and that's exactly what exhausts me about JRPGs, right? Because, like, I don't really... There's a predetermined expectation that, like, I care about JRPGs, and I care about this JRPG, and I care about all these factions by default, but I don't. Like, I don't actually care about Big Eye Baron Harkonnen. I don't. And what that trailer today, the Megaten trailer did, was it communicated to me, this is a Megaten, it's on an HD console, it looks like this, and there were some things that kind of indicated, like, ties to Nocturne, which is kind of a fan favorite. And that was literally all it needed to do, and I am now more excited about that game than I have been about a JRPG since, well, like Persona 5. But, yeah, it is, I don't know if these games are, you could call it laziness. I would consider it, confidence that, like, if you say Shin Megami Tensei to somebody, they know that there's a certain kind of combat and a certain kind of, you know, there are demons and you negotiate with them. You do this set of things in a Shin Megami Tensei game, and those things are consistent. And whereas a game like I keep ragging on Final Fantasy, but it's the one here. In the States, it's kind of the big JRPG. Final Fantasy is a game that has been for years now, sort of like, I don't know what I am anymore. And meanwhile, these games are defiantly just continuing to do the same thing and just slightly tweaking it. Obviously, if you're not interested in that same thing, then they have nothing for you. But if you are, then they are all, you know, they are all in their nuances compelling, which I think is a different kind of strength than we're used to expecting from a franchise. You know, we sort of expect, like, bigger and better, and you know, obviously they switched to 3D, they switched to polygons, then they switched to third person. These games do get bigger and better. Persona 5 is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen, but they're still, you could put this in front of somebody and then you could put Persona 5's combat in front of somebody and they would recognize that they are ostensibly the same thing, I guess. God, Xenoblade looks terrible. I mean, it doesn't look so...
Just dropping that one down.
Sorry, Xenoblade fans. Xenoblade fans?
Xenobladers, I think.
Xenobladers, that's right. I mean, I don't know. It looks very 90s anime. Obviously, I'm always into that. But I have nothing to sell. Story of my life.
What is double fusion? Asks Chain Zero.
Fusion with 2 demons. There's also triple fusion, which is fusion with...
Triple fusion?
It's fusion with 3 demons. The nuances of the demon system or fusion system are forever a mystery to me, so don't ask. I just sort of do what it tells me. I know some people are really, really into that and like have all the like particulars of it memorized, but I do not. Wait. 9. Damn it. Should probably fight a demon so I have more Maka so I can do that. Oh, there we go. Oof.
Do you know much about the development process in these games?
I know that these first two Megami Tensei games were developed by Namco, back when they were called Namcot. And I know that I assume some of that dev team went to Atlas. I assume that's what happened, or branched off. I'm not sure. But the first Megami Tensei games are copyright Namcot. Obviously, the SMT games, as they come out today, are owned by Sega, who owns Atlas, for those who don't know. But
I was just sort of wondering, like, how often these new ones are supposed to come up, or, yeah, if it's just every step.
what do you mean?
Like, how often, you run into an encounter.
Oh, I have no idea. I think it rolls every time you step. Yeah, that's it.
Veritan asks, why did Namco drop the T?
I don't know. I've always wondered that. I have no idea.
You died again?
Yeah, I died again. I think I am probably about ready to call it for tonight. Because I'm really hungry, and also I've died twice now. And that'll put a damper in anyone's progress. But I think I might do some more of this tomorrow. Just because I'm really feeling it, just because that announcement. Whenever they announce a new one, I always get really into these. And just so that I've said it, for those who are really interested in getting into a Mega 10 with a recent game, obviously Persona 5 is out on PS3 and PS4. Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse is out on 3DS. You don't really have to have played Shin Megami Tensei 4. It's a side story that happens concurrently to the original, but so Shin Megami Tensei 4 takes place from the perspective of sort of outsiders who come from kind of a feudal Japan revivalist society that also has computers for some reason. And they go down into where the demons have taken over, which is modern-day Tokyo. Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse takes place from the people who live in that Tokyo. So basically you're seeing the same narrative from, the colonizers and the people who are already dealing with this demon infestation to begin with. Those two SMT4 games are out on 3DS. Though I would recommend Apocalypse. The opening moments, the opening dungeon of 4 is really not great. It has no idea of difficulty curve. It does not understand exactly how hard it's being. And then next year, in March, Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey for the DS is getting an HD remake for 3DS called Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux. I've never played Strange Journey, but I know a lot of friends who are really, really, really enthusiastic about that one. So that's another one that you can pick up soon. So
Yeah, that caps us up for now. We'll see you again tomorrow evening, maybe.
yeah, sometime around the same time, maybe a little earlier.
I think we'll be a little late because we have to record the podcast tomorrow.
We do have to record the podcast tomorrow. There's so much to do. I don't know, sometime tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us.
Cool.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks. Bye.